In September 2019, we decided to do a trip to Botswana. Monty Cat knew something was up when he saw Bruno the brown bus being prepped for travel. We managed to get bookings in Central Kalahari Game Reserve and Khutse Game Reserve, entering through the northern gate of Central Kalahari and to travel down towards Xade and then even more south and east to Khutse Game Reserve and exit via Khutse. Our first night out was spent at Khama Rhino Sanctuary. The campsites were quiet and we didn't see many people. This little owlet and his mate were busy ensuring the survival of their species though, and provided some entertainment in our campsite. The next morning, after a morning game drive and towing an SUV out of some thick sand, we headed up north towards Kubu Island. Kubu is a magical, mystical place. You can drive right around the island of baobabs with its campsites on the western side. The trees are like people. Some huddle in family groups, others look like they're dancing together, and some just having alone time. One has to visit Kubu to experience the feeling of peace and spirituality there. It is also a photographer's dream. We camped for 2 nights to get enough walking, sunrise, sunset, photography, and just be there. It's very hot in September and the pan is dry. And when we left Kubu, we drove straight across the vast open Makgadigadi Pans, where you see nothing but pan and sand for miles and miles, almost the whole day. We cut straight across from Makgadigadi Adventure Camp to Gweta, not via Nata as the map might show. At Gweta we enjoyed hot showers, cool swims and cold drinks at Gweta Lodge. It's a nice little oasis and a great one-night stopover that we'd highly recommend. From Gweta, we drove south, back through the Pan, straight down south, and into central Kalahari Game Reserve, after filling up with fuel at Rakops. And then it was about an hour down to the central Kalahari's Matsweri Gate, and we carried on going down towards Sunday's Pan and the campsites.
Oh, behind my thing.
At Sunday's Pan Waterhole, we were treated to two huge male lions, where my blood brother's pictures come from. That was this sighting. The love and affection between the two lions was absolutely mesmerizing. We slept in the campsite not far from there, and then went back the next morning to see what else shows up at the waterhole. A little later, we drove further south and went down to our favorite pan, which is Piper Pan. And we decided to stay around Piper Pan for 2 nights. Big game was scarce, but sunsets and night skies were fantastic. The waterhole was still busy and gave us many lovely photo opportunities while we were around Piper Pan area.
So we get a bit of its draft. maybe.
On day 3 at Piper, we headed south again, towards Xade. It was surprising to see elephant dung 30 kilometers before Xade and all the way in. Elephants are not normally seen in the Central Kalahari Game Reserve, and there's only been recent sightings in this area, so we were quite excited. We got to the waterhole and there were no ellies, so we sat at the waterhole and waited. Boy, were we in for a treat. At first, 2 elephants came in from the north and drank thirstily, and for a long time. We were absolutely thrilled, thinking that this is really amazing. But then, from about 2 o'clock, ellie after ellie rolled in. About 50 or more in total. They all knew each other and greeted and played and bathed and stood and chatted together in little groups. We and 2 other vehicles stood around chatting and marveling at the scene, just far enough away not to threaten or disturb them. Most of them drank directly from the spout and bathed in the large pool. Being a solar pump, the last few came in late at high speed, as if they knew that the spout runs dry in the late afternoon as the sun starts to go down. We made camp east of Xade at one of the campsites with our new friends from the waterhole and spent a nice evening socializing and braaiing. The next morning we bade them farewell and took the lesser used road between Xade and Khutse. We didn't see much wildlife, but the road was interesting. Thick sand, low range second, for long stretches, average speed about 30 kilometers per hour. Just as you turn south, you get Barpi campsite, a stopover between the 2 reserves. We were alone there and woke up the next morning with a flat tire. Once heading south again, we passed through 2 Bushman villages and stopped to chat to the people there. After lunch, we headed down to Khutse campsites, coming in the late afternoon, and then the following experience explains itself.
So I wouldn't change the rules. Oh, that light in the butt is so nice. You took it in there, girl. You get it out. Look at her mouth, full of blood. Oh God, you're such a little slag.
Okay, so this was supposed to be tonight's campsite. Nice tree, ablution blocks, shower, nice flat ground to put the car on. So all looks pretty good until you look closer. And maybe this won't be tonight's campsite because Mummy Lion has taken over the bog. So the bog over there. Okay. So this is there's our shower, and there's our kitty cats. We miss our kitty cats. And this is the toilet, and it looks like
she pulled her legs around so she could eat the guts.
A kudu in the bathroom. She has put a kudu in the bathroom, so no using the loo tonight. And this would have been a beautiful campsite, so we'll go and find another one somewhere. She was gone the next morning, and we reluctantly headed to the gate for our homeward journey.